Welcome to a day in the life as an academic advisor. So it won't be like your typical vlog style, unfortunately, because I just don't feel comfortable filming in my office. I don't want to compromise anybody's information. I need my job, honey. I need my job. So it'll be more like, sit down, tell you guys a quick day in my life. I work Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And I actually get to work a half an hour early. My son goes to school on my campus, so he's due at school at 8:30. So I drop him off at 8:30, and then I walk over to my building. So I'm typically technically clocking in at 8:35, 8:40. During this time, from 8:40 to 9 o'clock, I'm kind of just getting everything done that I need to get done, personally for myself or for my family. So I may call my allergy shot clinic and schedule my allergy shot. I might budget on my planner. It all just depends on what I need to get done for the day. So as soon as I get done, as soon as it hits 9 o'clock, I'm opening all my screens. We have two desktop screens, which makes life just so much easier. And I open up my Outlook first, and then I open up the school's website, and then I open up a DegreeWorks tab, which if you guys don't have that, it's a way that students and advisors can track their academic progress. So I always have that up because I reference that all day, every day at work. I also open up Banner 9. That is just, you can access all student information by their student ID number and personal information. And I use that every single day as well. Now that I have all my screens open, if my phone is blinking, that I have voicemail, then I will go ahead and listen to my voicemails. It really doesn't happen. I really try hard not to miss calls. I try hard not to. Because I remember at my previous position when I was assisting students, one of the main complaints that they had was that their advisor never answers the phone. So I really try to be available to my students as much as I possibly can. If I hear it and if I don't have a student in the office, if I'm not already focused on something else, I'm going to pick up that phone. But let's say, for instance, I was out the previous day or it was the weekend. Sometimes students like to call me on the weekend. I'll just go ahead and listen to those voicemails, and I'll start a separate sheet. I have a notebook specifically for advising, and I'll write down, I'll say callbacks, the date, and then I'll just list who called, a quick, reference as to why, the banner ID number, and then I won't usually call right away because it's barely even 9 o'clock yet. I'll give it some time. So I'll set that to the side. And then I'll start with my Outlook. So on my Outlook, I use Microsoft Bookings. And what that is a scheduling tool. It's extremely user-friendly, extremely accessible. It's in my email signature. So that's what I send to students whenever they want to schedule an advising appointment with me. And what happens is when a student schedules, the bookings scheduler just automatically populates it into my Outlook. So I'm notified when the student first schedules the appointment, and then my Outlook reminds me. So I'll usually go in my Outlook to the calendar function and just look to see how many appointments I have. I'll typically just go through and just send out the Zoom meeting links, even if they didn't request it, because it's kind of what I prefer, even though I have plexiglass and stuff, and I'm vaccinated. You just never know. So I kind of throw that out there first, and then if they still choose to come in person, they sure can. But I go through and then I send out any Zoom links, review information for my first appointment. So if I have a student who's a communication major coming in, or if she has a scheduled appointment, then I'm going to access her DegreeWorks and I'm going to create a mock schedule for her. I'll take a look at like I'll check my email history and see if we've had conversations before, if I don't remember the student off the top of my head. And just so I can be prepared before we have this advising session, because I hate, and it happens sometimes, but I just hate when I'm not prepared. Like when somebody pops in and they're just like, hey, can you, it kind of just throws me off, because more than likely I'm already working on something else. So my mind is somewhere else. And then, you know, you come in and you ask me questions and I'd rather just be prepared for the appointment, and it usually goes well. So my appointments, like they're spaced in bookings. Each student gets an hour. So that'll give me time to talk to the student. It never really takes an hour. Rarely does it take an hour. And then that also gives me time to send a follow-up email to the student and like complete any paperwork necessary. So that's pretty much what I do. I take my lunch at around 12, unless I have a scheduled appointment. In between that, I like to take a few walks because I try to get my steps in. And then for the second half of the day, I don't open my bookings link for the second half of the day. I kind of leave that open for walk-ins, or if a student like has an emergency and they really need to talk to me and they want to stop in. I leave that open for that, because one thing I don't want to do is just have my door shut all day, having Zoom appointments, because what's going to happen with the walk-ins, you know? Yes, baby. Bae. So that's my typical day in the life as an advisor when it's not peak period. You're going to have a peak period as an advisor, which is typically like the beginning of registration, and also like the first week of classes. Those are typically the times when it gets busy for me, and that's not how my day looks when it's peak period. When it's peak period, I'm just fighting to survive, sis. I'm fighting to make it throughout the day. I don't really have like a routine, you know what I mean? I still, of course, have my Zoom appointments that have been previously scheduled, but I'll usually just keep my door cracked, and students just, you know, come in when necessary. The good thing is peak periods, they don't last long. I mean, it's only like a few times in an academic year. I can handle that. But on days like, okay, boo. But on days like today, I know what to expect pretty much when I'm walking in the office. And that, I love that. I love knowing what to expect. I love it. It's a part of my personality. But I hope this video was helpful. If you guys have any questions or comments, please interact below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.